So, hi and welcome to your ENG 6301 Engineering Management. This topic discusses week 4 organizing technical activities. So, for the introduction, the engineer manager needs to acquire various skills in management, including those for organizing technical activities. In this highly competitive environment, the unskilled manager will not be able to bring his unit, okay, or his company, as the case may be, to success. So actually, the value of a superior organizational setup has been proven dramatically during the Second World War, okay, when a smaller American naval force confronted the formidable Japanese Navy at Midway. So military historians, they indicated that the American emerged victorious because of the superior organizational skills of their leaders. Okay, even today, okay, skills in organizing contribute largely to the accomplishment of the objective of many organizations. Okay, so whether they are private businesses or otherwise, the positive effect of business success becomes more pronounced when they come as a result of international operations. So international businesses, however, cannot hope to make huge profits, okay, unless they are properly organized to implement their plans. So the opportunities offered by skillful organizing are too important for the engineer to ignore. So this chapter is intended to provide him with some background and insights in organizing. So reasons for organizing. Okay, so organizing is undertaken to facilitate the implementation of plans. In effective organizing, steps are undertaken to break down the total job into more manageable man size. Okay, so doing this will make it possible to assign particular tasks to a particular person. So in turn, this will help facilitate the assignment of authority, responsibility, and accountability of certain functions and tasks. Okay, so organizing defined. So organizing is a management function which refers to the structuring of resources and activities to accomplish objectives in an effective manner. Okay, so structure is the arrangement of relationship of positions within an organization. Structure is also the result of organizing process. Then what is the purpose of the structure? Okay, the structure serves some useful purposes. So they are the following. Okay, the first one, it defines the relationship between tasks and authority for individuals and departments. Next, it defines formal reporting, relationships, the number of levels in the hierarchy of the organization, and the span of control. Okay, and the last, it defines the groupings of individuals into departments and departments into organization. And we have last para. It defines the system to effect coordination of effort in both vertical or the authority and horizontal or the task directions. Okay, so when structuring an organization, the engineer manager must be concerned with the following. Okay, of course, we have the division of labor. Okay, and then delegation of authority, departmentation, span of control, coordination. Okay, so what is a formal organization? Okay, the formal organization is the structure that will carry out the plan. Okay, it is described through the organization chart, the organizational manual, the organization manual, and the policy manual. Okay, after a plan is adopted, actually management will proceed to form an organization to carry out the activities indicated in the plan. Okay, so it is the plan structure. Okay, so and it represents the attempt to establish partnership, partnered relationships among components that will meet the objective effectively. So actually, so we have here the organization chart. So the organization chart is a diagram of the organization's official positions, okay, and the formal lines of authority. When we say organization manual, okay, the organization manual provides written descriptions of authority relationships. Okay, it details the functions of major organizational units and describes job procedures. Okay, and when we say policy manual, okay, the policy manual describes personnel activities and company policies. Then we also have informal groups. Okay, so informal groups are oftentimes find their way to exist side by side with formal organizations. So these groups may make it easy or make it hard for the organization to achieve its objectives. Okay, there are instances when members of an organization spontaneously form a group with friendship as a principal reason for belonging. So this group is also called a informal group. So it is not part of the formal organization and it does not have a formal performance purpose. Okay, so therefore, so the engineer manager is therefore warned that he must be on the lookout for the possible difficulties that the informal groups may do to the organization. So it will be to his best interest if he could make the informal groups work for the organization. So types of organizational structure. So, okay, before the commencement of activities, the decision makers in an organization will have to decide on what structure to adopt. So, depending on the size and type of operations, a certain structural type may best fit the requirements. Okay, we have three types of organizational structure. The first one is the functional organization. Okay, it's a form of departmentalization in which everyone engaged in one functional activity, engineering or the marketing. And the other one is the product or market organization. So it refers to the organization of a company by division that brings together all those involved with a certain type of product or customer. Okay, and the third, okay, matrix organization. So each employee reports to both functional or division manager and to a project or group manager. Okay, so this is an example. So a typical functional organizational chart of a construction company. Of course, first we have the president. Under the president, okay, it is divided into four. One, two, three, four, vice president. So we have the vice president for marketing, vice president for the construction, vice president for finance, and vice president for the human resources. Functional organization, so it is a very effective in smaller firms, especially in a single business firms, okay, where key activities revolve around well-defined skills and areas of specialization. Okay, so functional organization's advantages. Okay, number one, the grouping of employees who perform a common task permit economies of scale and efficient resources use. Okay, number two, since the chain of command converge at the top of the organization, decision making is centralized, providing a unified direction from the top. And number three, or the third, communication and coordination among employees within each department are excellent. So that are the advantages. Okay, we have other two. Okay, and the fourth, the structure promotes high quality technical problem solving. And the last, and the fifth, okay, we have six. The organization is provided with in-depth skills, specialization, and development. Okay, and the last, employees are provided with career progress within a functional department. So those are the advantages of functional organization. Okay, of course, what are the disadvantages? Okay, so first, communication and coordination between the departments are often poor. Okay. Next, decisions involving more than one department pile up of the top management level and are often delayed. Work specialization and division of labor, which are stressed in a functional organization, produce routine, non-motivating employee tasks. Fourth, it is difficult to identify which section or group is responsible for a certain problems. And fifth, there is a limited view of organizational goals by employees. Of course, sixth, there is a limited general management training for employees. Okay, so product or market organization. So the product or market organization, with its feature of operating by division, is appropriate for a large corporation with many product lines in several related industries. Okay, so the advantages, so flexible and responsive to change, provides a high concern for customers' needs. Okay. It provides excellent coordination across functional departments, easy pinpointing of responsibility for products problems. Okay. Emphasis on overall product and division goals, and the opportunity for the development of general management skill is provided. And of course, we have our disadvantages. So high possibility of duplication of resources across divisions. Then less technical depth and specialization in divisions. Poor coordination across divisions. Less top management control. Competition for corporate resources. So those are the disadvantages. Okay, so these are the typical, okay, a typical product market organization for a construction company. So you will notice we have here the president, we have the vice presidents. Okay, so under vice president, example, vice president for government accounts. So under we have the marketing, we have the construction, we have the finance and the human resources. Under vice president industrial accounts, they also have the marketing, the construction, the finance, and the human resources. And for the vice president residential accounts, they also have their own marketing, construction, finance, and human resources. So that's the problem. Okay, high possibility of duplication of resources across divisions. Okay, so we have the matrix organization. So it is a matrix organization is a structure with two or more channels of command. Okay, two lines of budget authority and two sources of performance and rewards according to Thompson and Strickland. So the matrix structure was designed to keep employees in a central pool and allocate them to various projects in the firm according to length of time they were needed, declared by Higgins. Okay, so matrix organization's advantages. So number one, more efficient to use of resources than the divisional structure. Okay, so flexibility and adaptability to changing environment and development of general and functional management skills are present. Then interdisciplinary cooperation and any expertise is available to all divisions. Okay, and then last, enlarged tasks for employees which motivates them better. And of course, we also have the disadvantages. Okay, the matrix organization disadvantages are frustration and confusion from dual chain of command. Okay, so we have high conflict between divisions and functional interest. And many meetings are more discussion than action. And need for human relations training for key employees and managers. Okay, and then last, tendency for power dominance by one side of the matrix. Okay, so these are the example, okay, of the a typical matrix organization of a construction firm. So you will notice here we have the president. Under the president, we have three vice presidents. Okay, vice president for finance, vice president for construction, and vice president for human resources. But you will notice, the connection. We will go to the vice president of construction. Then we have different departments. Okay. Next, three types of authority. Okay, first is the line of authority. So a manager's right to tell subordinates what to do and then see that they do it. Okay. Next, we have the staff authority, a staff specialist right to give advice to a superior. And we have the functional authority, a specialist right to oversee lower level personnel. Okay, so the staff officer may be classified into the following. Okay, we have the personal staff, those individuals assigned to a specific manager to provide needed staff services. And then we have the specialized staff, those individuals providing needed staff services for the whole organization. Okay. Then we have the purpose of the committees. Okay. So committees is used as a supplement to the existing formal organization and are formed to perform special tasks. Okay, so when a certain formal groups are deemed inappropriate to meet expectations, committees are oftentimes harnessed to achieve organizational goals. So many organizations, large or small, make use of committees. Okay, a committee is a formal group of persons formed for a specific purpose. Okay, so for instance, the product planning committee, as described by Milevo, is often staffed by top executives from marketing, production, research, engineering, and finance who work part-time to evaluate and approve the product ideas. Okay, so committees are very useful, most especially to engineering and manufacturing firms. So when a certain concern, like the product development, is under consideration, a committee is usually formed to provide the necessary lineup of expertise needed to achieve the certain objectives. So committees may not work properly. However, if they are not correctly managed, Delaney suggests that it might be useful to set up some procedures to make the committee a more effective tool to accomplish our goals. Okay. So committees may be classified as the following. Okay, so ad hoc committee. Okay, one created for a short-term purpose and have limited life. So an example is the committee created to manage the anniversary festivities of a certain firm. Okay, so that's for short-term purpose only. Then we have the standing committee. Okay, it's a permanent committee that deals with issues on an ongoing basis. So an example is the grievance committee set up to handle initial complaints and from employees of the organization. So that are the two classifications of committee. Okay, that's all for today, class. Thank you and have a nice day.